Rather large. Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. This episode includes Ansu Fati's transfer, Declan Rice, Moises Caicedo, and of course the big news is around Gabriel Jesus' return to Colony, London Colony. He's back in training, soft training, very, very soft training, but we are hopeful by the end of this month he will be back in full training and back with the squad. So hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Let's get this video to 300 likes. And in the comment section, let's have the honest conversation. Let's have the talk. Ansu Fati, how are we feeling about this one? Is he a player that Arsenal should go on and try maybe to sign? We've seen Mikel Arteta trying to turn around the careers of a few young players, Martinelli, Saka, maybe. If Ansu Fati came in, he's just 20. If he came in, do you think it would be a very vital part, maybe, of our squad, in the years to come? Heavily talented, massively gifted, not having the game time at Barcelona. Arsenal interested. Should we try to sign Ansu Fati in the summer? Let me know in the comment box below. Of course, my name is Cossy. You can also follow me on Twitter as well. Now, let's get into it. First and foremost, let's talk about Gabriel Jesus. According to Charles was one of those very, very big journalists that I really do give credit to, has actually come out and said that the player, that is Gabriel Jesus, is back in training. He's back at the London Colony. Now, he's doing some soft running around, some soft, some light training. He's not doing the heavy, running and all that. Much of the work in terms of healing him and getting him back ready for the season is actually to strengthen the knee. That is what is happening. Much of the work that is being done by Arsenal, by the physio team right now, is to make sure that we can actually strengthen. He can actually strengthen his knee. But at the moment, the positive news from Charles is that he's back at the London Colony, and that is something that we can actually be proud of. So he says he is now able to do some light ball work on the training pitch, although the main focus of his recovery at the moment is continuing to strengthen his knee, right? Look, I think it's a player that we've actually missed. I don't know how many people will agree with me, but I think we've really, really massively missed him. Eddie Nketiah, for one part of the story, has actually done very, very well. But in games like Newcastle, in games like Southampton, in games like Everton, those are games where we massively needed Gabriel Jesus. I'll give a lot of credit to Eddie Nketiah, especially the goal he scored against Manchester United. I've already said, and I said it to many of my friends, I don't think Gabriel Jesus can score for you that late winner at the back post. He's not that kind of striker. He's not. He's never in the penalty area. He's not that fox in the box, and that is what Eddie Nketiah brings to the table. When we play Eddie Nketiah, you're expecting a player to be in that penalty area, lingering around that penalty area, doing whatever things a fox in the box, a real number 9 actually does. And he scored some good kind of number 9 goals that we've seen already this season. One against West Ham, beautiful trick, and the 2 against Manchester United, again very, very good goals. But there is so much more to Mikel Arteta and Arsenal's press and Arsenal's game than what Eddie Nketiah is able to provide. Right? He's given us 55% or 65% of what Gabriel Jesus gives us, and maybe the other 5% is the goals. I mean, he scored 4 goals, and Gabriel Jesus only scored around 7 or 6 goals, given the amount of time he actually played this season. So Eddie Nketiah, he's done well, but I need Gabriel Jesus back in that team. I need him back firing. I need him back troubling defenses. If he's in that team against Everton, we win that game. Because I think Sean Dyche, again, very, very lucky lad. Very lucky. Because, he's playing this Arsenal side. We don't have our main man in our system. So you have the Eddie Nketiah guy who is, a little bit on and off. He can do these good things, and at times, he doesn't. But Gabriel Jesus and his consistency and his relentlessness, I doubt Tarkowski and all the boys in that in that back four defense for Everton could have actually dealt with him. But look, nice to have you back, bro. I hope you can actually be back before the end of February. and I'll let you know I'll let you know whatever happens on this situation. Now, in terms of what is developing, Arsenal are still looking to sign a midfielder. We are talking about Moises Caicedo. We're talking about Declan Rice, and that means actually, interestingly, this is something I saw in January, and I wasn't able to report about it. They said Arsenal's signing of Moises Caicedo potentially wouldn't actually mean they don't sign Declan Rice. Now, we know, according to all the big sources, Arsenal made Declan Rice their priority of the summer. We want to splash over 70, 80 million pounds on Declan. Okay, so now, first and foremost, West Ham manager, that is David Moyes, also came out this week, and he said all the clubs that want him will be able to have a chance to bid, right, in the summer. It's going to be a bidding war. It's going to be a very, very interesting one, and all the clubs will have a chance to go and try to impress him, to sign him, and try to impress West Ham to give them the player. However, he says it should be a record transfer. Right now, the record, I think, is held by Enzo Fernandez, if I'm not really mistaken. Enzo Fernandez at 105 million pounds. So when he says that it should be a record transfer in the Premier League, is meaning it should be at least 105.1 million pounds. And that's where that is where I want us to talk about, because again today I've seen reports that Arsenal are still talking to the representatives of the player. They're still trying to convince him. They're still trying to be ahead of the rest, ahead of Chelsea, ahead of Manchester United, ahead of Manchester City, and ahead of Liverpool, ahead of all these clubs that are actually trying to sign Declan Rice. Now, I'm gonna say this: I won't be very surprised if Declan Rice is not a bidding war. There is no bidding war on Declan Rice in the summer, and it doesn't go for all these crazy, amounts of money that we are all anticipating. I'm very, very serious. Chelsea have signed Enzo Fernandez. I don't see why they would go 200 million on Declan Rice, or 100 million pounds on Declan Rice. Manchester United, I think with Casemiro in that midfield, I don't see them again as a team that will be dying to prioritize the signing of Declan Rice. I think there's so many other priorities that Manchester United will be looking at. Maybe a striker, maybe a right back, maybe there's so many other areas that they will be looking at. So I don't think they will be wasting time on a bidding war for Declan Rice. Liverpool, of course, we know they need midfield reinforcements, maybe 2, maybe 3, but are they going to spend 100 million on one player, Declan Rice? I don't think. I think the priority for Liverpool has always been Jude Bellingham, and if they can get Jude at 100 million pounds, then I don't see them sign Declan Rice. So I think Arsenal have really been very, very strategic here. They've looked at the situation, and they've said everyone has either someone playing in their position, or they have a priority that is not Declan Rice. So why don't we make Declan Rice our priority in the summer? And keep in mind, Arsenal still can't sign Yuri Tillemans in the summer for free. We are still front runners to sign Yuri on a free. So it all makes sense. It really makes sense. But I'm going to say this: don't sign Declan Rice for 100 million euros. It's something I said with Mikhailo Modric. Mikhailo Modric is not worth 100 million pounds. Declan Rice, I think he might be worth, with the English premium, he might be worth, but don't sign him. Just don't do the deal, Arsenal. It doesn't make any sense for me. Moises Caicedo is available for 80, 70 million. Yuri Tillemans is available on a free. Those are 2 world-class talents that you add to that team, and it looks different. And it absolutely goes up a level. Signing Declan Rice for 100 million euros, you're bringing, I think it's a statement signing, and I've seen many English pundits say, well, this is a statement, transfer. The fact that Arsenal are interested, the fact that Arsenal are willing to put their bodies on the line for Declan Rice. Of course, they're always going to say that for a player who is theirs. If it was a player like Martin Zubimendi and Arsenal wanted to pay 100 million pounds, everyone would be saying, oh, he's not worth the money. But what has Declan Rice done to deserve 100 million? His team is not among the top, the top 4, top 6, or even top 7 this campaign. I think he's really, really upped his game as a player, personally. Shifting from that traditionally very, very defensive defensive midfielder to that kind of, adding some attributes of a very, very good central midfielder to his game. But that doesn't take him a level up to £100 million. It just doesn't. I think there are far better options than Declan, and Arsenal should focus on that. Like, get 100 million euros or pounds. Instead of spending all that money on Declan Rice, 70 goes to Moises Caicedo. I think we get him for £70 million in the summer. He's willing to push for a move. And then Ruben Neves, maybe for the extra 30. Go for Ruben Neves. Future Arsenal captain, if you want him to become big leader. Played in the Premier League for a lot of time. He's still 25, 26 now. The deal just makes a lot of sense. So for me, Declan Rice, I love, world-class midfielder, I would say. It's a shame that he's playing at West Ham. I think he doesn't, he won't play another season at West Ham. But anyone who signs him for a fee above £80 million, you've been robbed. You've been absolutely robbed. We need to stop this nonsense. Football has to stop this nonsense of just, increasing and highly increasing prices for players. And some players are actually not worth it. Like Mikhailo Modric for €100 million, absolutely not worth it. Enzo Fernandez for £105 million, absolutely not yet there. Yes, player of the tournament at the World Cup. But how many of those have we seen come out from a very, very good tournament, and then that's the end of it? Where is Renato Sanchez? Right now, his value should be 200 million or 300 million. And right now, if you wanted to get him for PSG, they would actually give you Renato on a free. So for me, Declan Rice, not worth the money. Not worth 100 million pounds. World class, maybe, but 80 million pounds gets you a world class player. 85 million pounds gets you a world class player. Arsenal should not enter that stupidity. It's sheer stupidity. Now, of course, Arsenal also interested in signing a forward. I think those are the two areas we'll be looking at in the summer: the midfield, and of course trying to find more players on the forward line. One of the players we're looking at is Barcelona's Ansu Fati. Now, one of the things I love about Barca is the way they nurture talent. And one of the things I hate about Barca is the way they trash talent. I mean, we've seen so many players like the likes of Trincao, come from the academy and somehow, they just become trash. Okay. So Ansu Fati is struggling to find game time at Barcelona this campaign. I think he's been really, really stumped with a lot of injuries. He's done a couple of surgeries in his knee area, in a couple of other areas as well. And this season, it is actually not the injuries. This season, Ansu Fati is struggling to find game time at FC Barcelona. And this is my reasoning, because I watch Barcelona all the time and I watch Liga all the time. I think Xavi is more contented and happier with Rafinha on the left or right, and then Dembele on the other flank, all right? And then down to the middle, of course, it is Robert Lewandowski. The midfield is well defined with Gavi, Pedri, and either De Jong or Busquets, or at times a midfield four, right? And when he plays a midfield four, that means one of Dembele and Rafinha is sacrificed. So I think Ansu Fati is really going to find it very, very hard as Barca find their way. As Barca find their way to the top again, he's not being included. Now, Arsenal have sounded out. Arsenal have notified the representatives of the guy that if Barca is not willing to give him time, if Barca is not willing to make him that important player, how about you try Mikel Arteta's project, right? So I think this is where it's one where Barca will have to look over the shoulder and go, what do we do now, right? I think they trust him. They love him. He's a very, very talented guy. Injuries have been a problem, but right now there's so many players starting ahead of him. And for me, with Leandro Trossard coming in, I think Arsenal will try to sign another winger. Arsenal will sign another winger. I don't think Leandro Trossard is the last of the lot. I don't think. I think it's one that pushes us over the cliff, but I don't see him become a regular for Mikel Arteta. So Ansu Fati on the left wing, maybe over Gabriel Martinelli. I think he's more talented than Gabriel Martinelli. I think he can score more goals than Gabriel Martinelli. He's got the Messi vibes, hasn't he? He's got the Messi vibes. So let me know about Ansu Fati. 20 years as well, actually. He's still very, very young. If Arsenal are looking to, rebuild and find this kind of, young guy that can be a superstar, Maradona, Messi, Ronaldo kind of vibes, that is Ansu Fati. Now, personally, if you ask me, would I take him at Arsenal? I like Fati. I really, really do. But I struggle to find differences between Mikel Arteta and Xavi, Barcelona, and Arsenal right now. If you can't get in ahead of Dembele and Rafinha, how sure are you that you get in ahead of Trossard, Martinelli, Saka, and Mo Smith-Rowe? How sure are you? And even if he can't get in, coming from the Spanish La Liga to the Premier League, coming from the Spanish La Liga where he's actually struggling, means he would have to do a lot more. So I like him, but I mean, let's see. Let's see if let's see what you people think, and let's see if a deal can actually be done. I can't write him off. That is how much I actually do like him. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Get this video to 300 likes. And of course, let's have the conversations in the comment box below. Now, you can follow me on Twitter. It's there, Cossy Arsenal, very, very alive. You can also follow me on TikTok because I'm about to produce more short form content. Love you all. Speak to you very, very soon.